Hello to all of you Russian learners, Oksana here, welcome to my channel. So today we're continuing with our Russian studies, and this video is going to be about a very important, I think, a theme in the Russian language, not just a theme, but very important two words in the Russian language, which are expressing your gratitude, saying thank you. And you may already know that there are a lot of ways, of course, to say thank you in Russian, but there are two, the most commonly used ones, the most frequently used, and those are Спасибо and Благодарю. So these two words both express gratitude when you are thanking. They are used when you are thanking somebody. But today we're going to be talking about what is the difference between these two words. Is there any restrictions for using either of them, and what are these restrictions? So let's talk about these two words, and let's start with Спасибо. And Спасибо is actually the most common way of thanking a person in Russian. It can be both formal and informal conversations. And Спасибо can be said in any case when you want to express your gratitude to a person for anything, like for example, for helping you with your work, or for answering your question, or for giving you directions. And it can be used both in an official way, like talking to a person you don't know, or both to your friends, or relatives, or kids. And it is very natural in Russian to expand this word "спасибо" to show your extra gratitude, that you are extra grateful. And you can add the adjective большое in front of this word спасибо, which is so спасибо basically means, like if you're translating in English, спасибо basically means thanks. So большое, as we know, большое in Russian means big. So big thanks, большое спасибо. And here, just like a little grammar point for you, спасибо is a noun in this phrase, and it is ending in o. So it is of a neuter gender, and of course the adjective used with it has to be of the neuter gender as well, which is большое. And if we're looking up this adjective in dictionary, it will be in its default form, which is in the masculine gender, which is большой. So changing it up into the neuter gender will be большое спасибо. It's like very big thanks to you. So when you are, it is just to express that you are extra grateful to somebody. So that is about спасибо. So you can either say спасибо or большое спасибо, like a very, very grateful expression. So as for the second word, благодарю, благодарю actually comes from this verb, which is благодарить, and it is in this form, which is in the present tense, and told from the first person, meaning I give thanks, я благодарю. So благодарю is also has like the same meaning as спасибо, but it is used a little bit less frequently in Russian, but also quite a lot can be heard quite a lot in everyday Russian conversations. I'm talking both polite and in formal and informal. Though it has a little bit more formal weight to it, formal feel, like it is totally okay to say благодарю to either your friend or a relative or anybody close to you, even though it is a little bit of a formal feeling. But like friends in Russian say to each other благодарю, like in a joking way, like jokingly, like they're having this polite conversation, but in fact they're just playing it. So it is like in a little bit of a joke, but also totally fine if you say благодарю to your friend or relative. But it's better not to say благодарю to kids. It is too formal a word to say to a kid. So to kids it's better use спасибо. But to everybody else, благодарю is okay. And when you're having a formal conversation, using this word благодарю is quite appropriate, and it can be used to either people you don't know when expressing your gratitude to them. Like for example, you can also use this word to like at work, to your client or to your boss, to your colleague, like anybody that has a higher status, for example, or a person you don't know. And there's also a little bit variation to this expression. You can say благодарю вас, meaning you. So if благодарю is I give thanks, so вас so means I give thanks to you. Вас meaning to you. And in this situation, it is like an extra way of saying you are super grateful. So again, вас here is like a very formal way of addressing a person. Let's just sum it up for this video. So there are two ways, very commonly used ways of saying thank you in Russian. It can be either спасибо or благодарю. They are very commonly used in the Russian language. You can hear them every time you're in Russian or speaking to a Russian person. There is nothing like outdated about any of them. There is just a little difference in how they are perceived. So спасибо is like the default form of saying thank you. It's the first thing that you have to know when you are learning to speak English. Of course, saying спасибо, like thank you in English, it is very important. And it can be used in absolutely any situation, both formal and informal situations, talking to anybody. And благодарю basically means the same, totally appropriate to use whenever you want, except it has more of a formal feel to it, so it is better to use it either to people you don't know or a higher status, or if you are talking to your friends or people you know, it is like more like a jokingly way or like a super polite way that can be perceived as a joke, but not like it will not sound inappropriate or out of place, but it is a little bit less used when talking to like your close, like to people close to you. And of course, you cannot use благодарю to kids. So let me say again that if you know just спасибо, that's great. That's it. You basically don't need to overwhelm yourself with more words. Like for if you are just starting to learn Russian, you learned спасибо and большое спасибо, and you're totally fine. That's okay, and that's can be it. But when you are having a conversation with a Russian person, you may hear from them благодарю, like that person can thank you for something, saying благодарю, and it is of course it will of course be useful for you to know this form also, благодарю, so as to understand what that person talking about, what did he say or they say. So it's just to broaden your vocabulary. But of course, the further you get with your Russian studies, the more these types of different ways of saying something you will know. So just for if you're just starting, learn just спасибо and большое спасибо, and that's great. But благодарю will be also great to know. It will show that you are very eloquent with your Russian speech. So that's it for today. I hope this video was interesting to you and gave you some useful information. If you liked it, please support this video with your thumbs up, and also do subscribe to my channel. I make videos about the Russian language. They come out every day, so I'll be very glad to see you on my channel again. And of course, if you have any questions, please write them down in the commentary section under the video. I will, of course, answer all of them. And please stay safe. Give enough time and practice to your Russian studies, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Goodbye.